The ability to read body language is an extremely important skill. Research has shown that the verbal component of a face-to-face conversation is less than 35% of communication, and that over 65% is done through body language. So many aspects of your life depend on how well you can interact with other people, and they can all be improved with relatively little effort spent on learning this. The best book on the subject I've found so far is called The Definitive Book of Body Language. This book is full of interesting ideas, but it's so information dense that I'm not going to do a full book summary this time. So instead of talking about all the individual meanings of gestures the book goes into, I'm going to talk about how you can learn to read body language by understanding how it works and knowing the best ways to practice it. People can read body language in two ways, subconsciously and consciously. Subconsciously reading body language is something everyone does all the time, and the result is that you'll have reactions to people's behaviour without realising why. How good you are at subconscious reading depends on the physical structure of your brain, and beyond keeping yourself in good general health, there's not much you can do to get better at it. An interesting fact to take note of is that women have a natural advantage when it comes to subconsciously reading body language. MRI scans have shown that women have between 14 to 16 areas of the brain to evaluate others' behaviour, versus a man's 4 to 6 areas. People who are especially good at reading body language subconsciously often expect everyone else to be the same as them. If you've ever been in a situation where someone's expected you to know what they wanted when they didn't say anything, you probably thought they expected you to be a mind reader, when what they actually expected was for you to be able to interpret their body language without thinking about it. Luckily, you can also learn to read body language consciously, and by doing this you'll be able to act on what you see in a more decisive way than people who rely mostly on their subconscious reading abilities. Here are the 3 most important rules for accurately reading body language. The first rule is to look for clusters of gestures. When people are consciously reading body language, the most common early mistake is to look for a single gesture instead of combinations of them. When you start learning about body language, you learn the meaning of individual gestures, but each one can mean multiple different things. Scratching your head can mean you are sweating, feeling uncertain, have dandruff, or are trying to remember something. But when you put that gesture alongside others, the meaning becomes more clear. For example, if someone is scratching their head and has unfocused eyes, and they're tilting their head to one side, they're probably trying to remember something. The second rule is to look for incongruence. Research shows that non-verbal signals carry about 5 times as much impact as what we say, and when those signals don't match up with what someone's saying, people usually pay attention to the body language and ignore what was actually said. This happens especially often with women, since they're usually better at subconsciously reading the body language in the first place. The classic example of this is someone saying things that sound confident without having the body language to match. If you have a nervous facial expression, a restricted range of movement, are hunched over, and generally look like you're trying to make yourself smaller and take up less space, the person you're talking to isn't going to believe any confident sounding things that you say. Instead, they're going to think you're not very confident, as well as being a liar. Politicians are easy people to spot incongruence in, because they pretty much just lie for a living. Watching them under pressure can help you learn the meanings of gestures that they unintentionally use. This is an easy way to start analysing body language, because our brains are wired to look for incongruence subconsciously. For most of the time humans have existed, failing to spot a liar from another tribe could easily result in your death. Because of this, we've evolved a kind of instinctive alarm that subconsciously tells us to stay away from people whose words don't match up with their body language. Whenever you think about a person and say to yourself that there's something you just don't quite like about them, and you can't really say what it is, this is usually what it is. The final rule is to always read gestures in context. For example, if someone is outside on a cold winter's day and has their arms and legs tightly crossed and chin down, it would most likely mean that they're cold, not that they're defensive. Whereas if you're negotiating with someone, it means they are rejecting what you're suggesting. The most important thing for becoming great at reading body language is regular practice. This can mean spending time people watching. Now, a lot of the time I'd suggest not actually going out in public specifically to do this. No one wants to be the creepy person sat on a bench staring at everyone around them. Instead, you should incorporate the habit of paying attention to people's body language into your everyday life. Make a conscious effort to think about the body language you see in people you interact with, as well as your own. Pay particular attention when you're in settings where you can see a wide range of human behaviour, like airports, business meetings and social events. A way to see many different types of body language quickly is to watch television with the sound muted, turning it back up every few minutes to check if what you thought was happening based on the non-verbal cues was correct. After a while you'll be able to understand what's going on in terms of how people are feeling without listening at all. Reality television in particular works well for this, since it's real body language instead of an actor's approximation of how someone would behave. This type of show also puts people in emotionally charged situations, where the body language is going to be more extreme, and therefore easier to read when you're starting out practicing than the more subtle gestures people make when their behaviour is more controlled. In the future, I'll be going into which body language works the best in specific situations, and how to interpret specific gestures from other people, so be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see those. Thanks for watching!